In region lords, you have a grid that is divided into different regions, and the goal is to shade these regions so that one, there are two shaded cells in each region. Each shaded cell should be a part of a domino. So a domino is a shape made of two shaded cells next to each other. So either a 1 by 2 or a 2 by 1. And the dominoes, they can cross the region borders, but they cannot touch each other except diagonally. So I'm just going to show you how to do one here as an example. So notice here that the grid right here, you can see each region is defined by this black outline here. So this is considered one region, and then this right here is considered another region, and so on and so forth. So right away, I noticed that you have these um, 2 by 1 cells here. So since two cells are shaded in each region, I know for a fact that these two will, biological reasoning, have to be shaded in. So I'm just going to shade this as a light gray color. Oops. Uh, Here we go. Right, so these two cells are going to be shaded in gray because each region has to have at least two cells that are shaded. And since they're only a 2 by 1, so logically speaking, these are only cells that are available that can be shaded in. So then you have to just do the same for the rest of the regions here. So let's say for this particular region, if you can follow my mouse, this is one region right here. So if I were to shade, try to pick out which two cells to shade in here, I know I can't shade in here because this will be adjacent to this cell. And I know I can't shade in here because this is also adjacent to this shaded cell right here. So right now, logically, you can go either here in the purple, this region right here, or in this region right here in the purple. So um, for now, I'm going to go ahead and say that these two regions are going to be my shaded cells. So I'm going to turn those into a gray color. And then if I move on to this region right here, I know that right now I can't shade in this area directly, and uh, I can't shade in this area directly because these, if I shade it in here and here, it's adjacent to this shaded cell. So most likely I'm going to either have to shade in here and here um, for my two cells. So if I shade in here and here, so these two shaded cells are already part of this outline here. So then I can um, logically deduce that if I shade in these two right here, then the other cell that I can shade in is here and here. Because again, the shaded cell should be a part of a domino, so they have to be either a 1 by 2 or a 2 by 1. So if I go back here, so if I shade in these two right here, right, I can't shade in this and I can't shade in this because if I shade in this, it's adjacent to this shaded cell. If I shade in this, it's adjacent to this shaded cell. So logically speaking, the only place I can shade right now is this block and this block, right? And these have to be a 2 by 1. So that's why it works that way. Okay, so uh, now that I have these shaded cells here, I can see, okay, most likely if I follow this pattern right here, so if I move into this region right here, this 3x1 or 1x3 region right here, so I can't shade in here because this, if I shade in here, it's going to be adjacent to this shaded cell. So logically speaking, with what I have right now, I can only shade in these two cells. And this covers this region right here. Okay, so then if I move into this region right here, so right now I've already shaded in one cell for this region here, this purple region, right? So this L-shaped region. So I already have one here. So I can't shade in here because this is next to this shaded cell, and I can't shade in here because it's next to this cell. I can probably shade in here, but if I shade in here, that means that to be able to create that domino, I would have to shade in this cell to be able to create that 2x1. But since if I shade in this cell right here, it's going to be next to this shaded cell, so that's not going to work. So my options right here now are this one or this one. If I shade in this cell right here, I'm going to have to either shade in this cell. So let's say for example, if I shade in this cell right here, I'm either going to have to shade in this one or I'm going to have to shade in this one. And I can't do both because if I shade in this one right here, then you have three cells that are shaded in this region, right? So this L shape now has three shaded regions. So I can't put one here. And same goes for this one. This is now three shaded cells in this region. So by logic speaking, I can't shade in this region right here. So the only logical place that I can put, given how I've shaded the cells right here, is this part, this cell right here. So if I shade in this, then logically speaking, I can only shade in here now, because if I shade in this, it's adjacent to this shaded cell. And now I think I have all the shaded cells covered in each region. So we can check this. So this region right here, obviously these two shells are shaded for this region right here. If I check this entire region right here, you have two cells that are shaded. These two right here. For this region, I have these two. For this region, I have these two cells that are shaded. This is a 2x1, so these two cells are obviously shaded. For this region, I have two cells that are shaded. And for this region right here, I have two cells that are shaded. And I can see that no dominoes are adjacent or touching one another except diagonally, which is perfectly fine within the rules of region lords. So this is my final result, and that's how you play region lords. So if you have any questions, be sure to leave it down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to my channel for more helpful tips on how to solve these puzzles. Thank you and have a great day.